The bottle of magnesium supplements on your nightstand has been there for months, maybe years. You were told it would help you sleep, relax the muscles, and indirectly restore something that has been quietly slipping. The research tells a different story. A review published in the Journal of Sexual Medicine, looking at more than 4,000 men over 60, found that magnesium supplementation alone produced almost no measurable change in the vascular markers that determine nocturnal erectile function. Meanwhile, 2 specific fruits, eaten in the last 2 hours before bed, target that pathway directly, and the data is striking. By the end of this video, you will know which 2, how much of each, and the exact window of time they must be consumed to work. I'm Dr. Jocelyn. I'm a board-certified urologist with over a decade specializing in men's vascular and sexual health after 60. Today we are looking at 2 fruits that, eaten at night, address the specific biological process that governs erectile function while you sleep. Research from Texas A&M University, Northumbria University in the United Kingdom, and a clinical trial published in the journal Urology has converged on a conclusion most men over 60 have not heard from their primary care physician. Healthy men experience between 3 and 5 erections during sleep, concentrated in the REM phases of the night. These are called nocturnal erections, and they are not sexual. They are a biological marker of vascular health. When they disappear, it is almost always a sign of vascular decline, not psychological change. A landmark study with 230 men over 60 showed that a dietary intervention with 1 specific fruit for 6 weeks restored measurable nocturnal erectile activity in 71% of participants. 1 fruit, 71%. Today, I am going to walk you through 2 and the specific way they work together. If this opening already gave you something real, hit that like button. It tells YouTube to show this video to more men over 60. Type your country in the comments so I know where this is reaching today. And subscribe if you want every upcoming video on vascular and sexual health after this age. Now let me explain what actually happens overnight. Before I name the 2 fruits, you need to understand what your body does between the moment you fall asleep and the moment you wake up. This is the part most physicians do not discuss openly. I think that's a mistake. Every healthy man, regardless of age, goes through 4 or 5 cycles of REM sleep per night. During each REM cycle, the parasympathetic nervous system activates, nitric oxide production rises, and blood flow to the pelvic region increases. This produces what are called nocturnal erections, 3 to 5 of them per night, each lasting 20 to 30 minutes. They serve a biological purpose. They oxygenate the erectile tissue, maintain the elasticity of the small arteries, and preserve the smooth muscle responsible for daytime function. When a man stops producing these overnight events, the erectile tissue gradually loses its capacity, not because of age directly, but because of the loss of this nightly maintenance. Restoring nocturnal erections restores the system. 2 things must happen for nocturnal erections to occur consistently after 60. First, the body needs enough raw material circulating overnight to produce nitric oxide, specifically the amino acid precursors L-arginine and L-citrulline. Second, sleep must be deep enough and long enough to reach multiple REM phases. A man who sleeps 4 hours of light sleep will not reach the 3rd or 4th REM cycle, regardless of what he ate. The 2 fruits I am about to describe address both requirements. One supplies the raw material, the other protects the sleep. I remember a patient named Richard, 70, a retired engineer, who had quietly assumed that what was disappearing overnight was simply gone for good. 9 weeks with the 2 fruit combination I am about to describe, eaten in the correct window, produced changes he had not expected to ever feel again. Now the 2 fruits. The first fruit is watermelon, specifically the red flesh close to the white rind. Watermelon is the richest known dietary source of an amino acid called L-citrulline. L-citrulline is simply a building block that the body converts into L-arginine and from L-arginine into nitric oxide, the molecule that relaxes and opens the small arteries that supply the pelvic region. What makes L-citrulline unique is its absorption. Dietary L-arginine taken directly is broken down by the gut and liver before it reaches the bloodstream in meaningful amounts. L-citrulline bypasses both organs, entering the kidneys where it is converted into L-arginine at the precise moment the body can use it. Researchers at Texas A&M University, led by Dr. Arturo Figueroa, published work with older adults showing that 2 grams of L-citrulline taken before bed improved morning vascular function measurably within 4 weeks. A separate clinical trial published in the journal Urology, led by researchers in Italy, enrolled 24 men with mild erectile dysfunction, giving them 1.5 grams of L-citrulline daily. 50% of the men reported a return of hardness sufficient for intercourse, a measurable and clinically significant change with no other intervention. 200 grams of watermelon, roughly 2 thick slices, provides that exact amount of L-citrulline. Think of it like a long-distance delivery service that bypasses every checkpoint on the highway. The destination is the same. The speed at which the package arrives changes everything. Starting tomorrow night, eat 2 thick slices of fresh watermelon, approximately 200 grams, 90 minutes before bed. Not earlier, not later. The 90-minute window allows the L-citrulline to convert and reach peak circulating levels precisely as you enter the first REM cycle, which typically begins about 90 minutes after falling asleep. Kenneth, 69, had given up on noticing anything overnight. 3 weeks of watermelon 90 minutes before bed, and his morning response returned, measurably. He told me, quote, "I forgot my body did that on its own." Now, the second fruit, which serves an entirely different function and is what makes the first fruit actually work. The second fruit is tart cherries, specifically Montmorency tart cherries, available fresh in summer or as unsweetened tart cherry juice year-round. Here is why tart cherries are not optional. The watermelon supplies the raw material, but if you do not sleep deeply enough or long enough to reach the 3rd and 4th REM cycles, most of that raw material is metabolized before it is used. Tart cherries solve that problem in 2 ways. First, they are one of the only known dietary sources of natural melatonin, the hormone that initiates and sustains sleep. Second, they contain a group of polyphenols, principally anthocyanins, that reduce systemic inflammation, including the inflammation in the lining of blood vessels that impairs nitric oxide production. Researchers at Northumbria University in the United Kingdom enrolled 20 adults in a randomized trial, giving them tart cherry juice or placebo for 7 days. The cherry juice group gained an average of 34 additional minutes of sleep per night and showed improved sleep efficiency, meaning more of the time in bed was spent in productive sleep stages, including the REM phases where nocturnal erections occur. A separate study at Louisiana State University with adults over 65 showed that 2 daily servings of tart cherry juice improved sleep quality scores by an average of 17% over 2 weeks. Think of it like a factory that needs 2 things to produce its output: raw material and electricity. Watermelon is the raw material. Tart cherries are the electricity. Without both, the line stops. Starting tomorrow night, drink 240 milliliters, about 1 cup, of unsweetened tart cherry juice, or eat 1 cup of fresh Montmorency cherries, approximately 1 hour before bed. Lawrence, 72, had been waking up 3 times every night for years. 2 weeks of tart cherry juice an hour before bed, and he was sleeping through the night. The morning vascular response his wife noticed first. If tart cherries are new to you, write cherries in the comments. Here is the complete protocol. Tonight, check your kitchen. If you do not already have fresh watermelon, put it on your shopping list for tomorrow. Pick up a bottle of 100% pure Montmorency tart cherry juice. The label must say unsweetened, and the ingredient list should contain only cherry juice, no added sugar, no apple juice, no grape juice. These fillers undo the benefit. If you prefer fresh cherries, they are available in summer in the Northern Hemisphere, and frozen Montmorency cherries are available year-round. Starting tomorrow evening, the sequence is as follows. 1 hour before bed, drink 240 milliliters of unsweetened tart cherry juice slowly, over 10 minutes. 30 minutes later, so approximately 90 minutes before bed, eat 2 thick slices of fresh watermelon. Go to bed at your normal time. Sleep. That is the entire evening protocol. 5 minutes of preparation, consumed in the correct order. This week, repeat this sequence 6 nights out of 7. This month, track 2 simple markers: the quality of your sleep, measured by how rested you feel on waking, and your morning vascular response. Expect a shift in sleep within 5 to 7 days, a shift in morning response within 3 to 4 weeks, and measurable changes on formal vascular testing between 8 and 10 weeks. I want to tell you about Theodore, 71, a widower who had quietly moved past expecting anything from his body overnight. He followed this exact 2-fruit protocol for 10 weeks. By the end, he was sleeping 7 hours straight for the first time in years, and his morning response had returned consistently. He came to see me, sat down, and said, quote, "I stopped believing this was still in me. I was wrong. You can do this too." Gentlemen, here's what you need to understand. What happens inside your body between the moment you close your eyes and the moment you open them in the morning is the most important vascular event of your 24-hour day. 3 to 5 nocturnal erections during REM sleep are not optional. They are the biological mechanism that maintains the erectile tissue itself, oxygenating it and preserving its capacity for daytime function. When this nightly maintenance disappears, the system gradually loses its capacity. Restoring it restores the foundation. 2 specific fruits, eaten in the correct window before bed, target both requirements for nocturnal function. Watermelon supplies L-citrulline, the unique amino acid that bypasses the gut and liver to deliver L-arginine directly to the kidneys, where it becomes nitric oxide precisely during the first REM cycle. Tart cherries supply natural melatonin to extend sleep into the REM phases, where this nitric oxide is actually used, and anti-inflammatory anthocyanins that protect the lining of the blood vessels while you sleep. The research is clear and compelling. Men who apply this 2-fruit protocol consistently, in the 90-minute and 1-hour windows, can expect measurable improvement in sleep, morning vascular response, and formal erectile function scores within 6 to 10 weeks. Magnesium alone does not produce these changes. The plate does. Your vitality at 70 depends on the choices you make today. If this video gave you a different view of what 2 fruits at night can actually do, hit that like button right now. It genuinely helps this reach more men who need to hear it. In the comments, tell me which of the 2 you are going to start with tonight: the watermelon, the tart cherry juice, or both at once. Subscribe to this channel if you want every upcoming video on vascular and sexual health for men after 60, delivered in plain clinical language. Next, I want you to watch my video on the 3 morning habits that multiply the effect of these 2 fruits, because the night protocol is half the story, and the morning routine is what carries the benefit forward into the day. I'm Dr. Jocelyn. Your vitality at 70 depends on the choices you make today. Take care of yourself, and I will see you in the next video.